Hi, good morning. Early today. It's 8:13. I was supposed to go to Woodhull Hospital, where I see my therapist and my psychiatrist. And my therapist called me last night and canceled. um, Ironically, right after that, my cell phone got cut off. So I wake up this morning with no cell phone. Um, just enough money in the bank to probably put it on and then have nothing else. Um, and just felt kind of shitty. Um, but I don't want to feel shitty today because I am looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to Saturday. Sunday's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. I usually hate Mother's Day, and I'm not going to get into why, but I mean, my mom's alive. I love my mom, and that's great. But I have very high expectations, and they never usually are met. So I don't have any expectations on Mother's Day. I'm always just kind of like, it's fine. But this year, my sister and my mom and my daughter and I are going to do something really fun on Saturday, and I'm thinking about taking you guys with me. And it has to do with Trauma Tire. So all this week I'll be giving you more about Trauma Tire. I know last week I've been like alluding, but I haven't been giving you any specifics. So this week, building up to Saturday, I will share some more. All right, so today, like I said, woke up feeling like crap. I want to talk about therapy and I want to talk about medication. The first time I saw someone to discuss how I was feeling was when I was 12. And I only saw this person a couple of times, and we played chess and just chit-chatted. And at the time, I was weeks away from graduating from this program that, like I said, they had identified these elite special children in public school, and they acclimated us to a private school setting and to the academics, and then we went to private school. So I'm a couple of weeks away from graduating after 13 months plus of investment in this program. I'm doing well. I'm on honors. I graduated from prep doing really well, and just wanted to drop out. And I went to my mom and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. At the time, like I said, I was 12. I was in 6th grade. I knew that my dad had cheated on my mom, and I was kind of holding that in and kind of like processing that with other 12-year-olds. I did tell my teacher at the time, and she said that life isn't black and white, and it's a lot of gray. And that's still something I have a hard time with. But anyway, so my mom thought I was on drugs, which was so far from the truth. And she like smacked me up and was like, "Are you on drugs?" And I'm like, "No, I just know about all this stuff and I don't know how to deal. And I don't want to be in prep, and I'm over it." And she called prep, and they sent me to a therapist. And the therapist at the time, told my mom that I have issues socially, and basically I expect too much and my neck gets cut off. I don't know what the diagnosis for that is, but that's what was relayed to me. And that was 12 years old. I definitely should have seen a therapist around 17, 18 when I left my church because it was so traumatic. But I didn't. And the next time it was suggested that I see a therapist, I was in college, and I had been working for the provost, and he was a really good mentor. And we sat in his office, and I was just sharing with him all of my angst. A lot of people don't know this, but I pulled out of F&M after freshman year and wanted to drop out. And my mom called and was like, "She's not returning." And I was like, "I'm not returning." And I spoke with this provost, and I had chopped my hair off, and I started sophomore year with like this short cut that made me cry in the salon. And I spoke to him, and he was like, "You need to see a therapist." At that point, my dorm, right outside my dorm room, had been vandalized by a friend and his friends, and they had said, like, minority rape squad in effect. I had been date raped already. So yeah, I was fucked up and I didn't want to be in college anymore. And the provost was like, you need to go see someone. And I was like, I don't need to see anyone. And he wanted me to get extensions on my work. And I was like, I don't need that. And he told me, he was like, I don't know what it is with the students of color at this school, but you will never see a therapist. And he was like, the white kids, and he was white, he was like, the white kids take the medication, they take the therapist, they take the extensions, do what you got to do. I saw a therapist probably twice there, and it just wasn't good. I think a lot of people don't like therapy, and I will tell you this. It is wonderful, but it is a lot of shopping around. It is a lot of divulging some things with people that you don't really like, and you're like, this doesn't work. I'm not going to do it. I had a really decent therapist so college, therapy didn't really go very long. And then I didn't see another therapist until maybe 2008 or 9, and it was a church therapist at this church I had in Virginia, and she was a very sweet lady, but it wasn't effective therapy for me. And I really do think that you're not going to get the proper help and the proper diagnosis until you find that good fit where you can actually be as transparent as you need to be. And to feel safe. That's the ultimate thing. I needed to feel safe in the space to actually talk and kind of divulge some of these things. And depending on the therapist, you may not. So if you haven't found a therapist, or if you think therapy is whack, or, you know, people of color, like, we're like, oh, we don't do therapy, we pray. Pray all you want, but therapy is needed. And I am a firm believer that every person, diagnosis or not, needs to see a therapist. It helps. Okay, so that leads me to medication, which is like taboo, and so many people are like, oh, don't take those meds, Nance. Like, see a therapist, but don't take those meds. I started seeing a therapist after I left my husband 4 years ago, and then I took a break because I was doing well, and then I hit a wall, and I went back to her, and she said I should start taking medication. I should start taking antidepressants, and I had lots of questions. I wanted to know what was the difference between antidepressants and tranquilizers, and I didn't want no kind of sedative because I have children. And this is why it's important for you to like your psychiatrist too. And I hated my psychiatrist, and we ended up having a big situation, and I was like, I'm done with you, and he wrote me a prescription, and I never saw him again. And now I love my psychiatrist, and she really listens and really takes the time, and is getting to know me well so she can tweak what I need. I used to be on Seroquel because I couldn't sleep. I never could sleep. And my doctor was like, this will help. And it did. I was asleep. But I was also asleep when I was awake. And I was foggy, and I just didn't care. I wasn't, like, triggered, but I was in a fog, and I didn't like that. So this psychiatrist took me off of that, and now I'm just on Lexapro. I'm on 30 milligrams, a pill and a half a day. It does help. When I don't take them, you will see a difference. But I just want to encourage you guys, if, you know, I didn't take pills for a long time. It was suggested that I take them maybe 6 months before I did, and I was resistant. But if you had a cold, you would take medicine. If you had a headache, you would pop in an Aleve. Like, it's the same thing. And like I said the other day, this isn't something you can pray away. My brain needs medicine. So I just want to talk about that, and I suggest people to go out and see a therapist. Take whatever your meds are. If they don't work and that you feel crummy, tell your doctor you feel crummy and you want to be on different meds. So that's it. I hope this helps. I will be here, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Share, like, post, subscribe, the whole thing.